Hell, I'm already almost to where I'm going, so I'm using the most part of this walk to reflect. This is my last full day in Flagstaff for a while, if all goes as planned. I'll be back later this year to go back to Slab City for what might be its last season due to the water crisis. And probably move here. I did get on a housing list. And even talking to the person can take weeks and months because there's one person. That's the starting point for getting housing in Flagstaff. And then another weeks, months, years to get housing, be it getting into the transitional housing program or any other type of housing. But yeah, if I can get a spot in Coconino County, I'll hang out here for a year or two. The goal, as I mentioned before, is move here, get a job, or some other form of income. Doesn't have to be a job. And buy an e-bike. And then peace out. Because, you know, I definitely prefer Phoenix and Tucson because there's more stuff to do. But this is definitely a better place to be in the hot weather because it doesn't get as hot here. Like, I think they said the most it gets here is about 25 to 27 Celsius. Whereas in Tucson and southern Arizona right now, it's fucking 37 Celsius. And I'm only half kidding. It's only 30, 32 or 34. But it has gotten almost 40 Celsius in Phoenix. And that's normal. So I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Housed or unhoused. It's just too fucking hot. And also the water crisis. I'm only looking at living here for 1 or 2 years is the water crisis. Mainly the Colorado River and another lake and something else drying up. But I wouldn't consider moving here at all if I didn't love it here. Arizona is definitely in a very messed up place politically. But with change comes chaos. And like, even though Arizona made a hard shift from Republican to Democrat, there's still a very purple ideology going on. Like, it's basically become Colorado now, where politics are way more of a touchy subject because less people agree. And there are a lot of Republicans here. The Republicans are very loud, unfortunately. And they have introduced anti-trans bills and anti-trans youth bills here. The most recent thing that I heard about is that they drafted a bill that in school settings, teachers and faculty and whatnot would not be allowed to use a student's preferred pronouns without their parents' permission, which is horrible. If they're not out at home, there's a reason, and you shouldn't be the one to out them. That's absolutely terrible. And and like, Arizona is also super hostile towards its homeless population, but people don't really talk about that because it's like people are used to the idea of people being hostile towards the homeless because we're dirty and stuff, dirty and crazy and whatnot. So who wants to see us around? But it's like now that hostility is kind of spreading across to other groups, people are paying attention to the stages of genocide. And I was like, as a homeless person, I can tell you that there's been several groups already living in the 10 stages of genocide. Stop acting brand new. And also person of color, women of color. But, you know, when it affects white people, then it's genocide. We can all pay attention to it. Now that white trans people are affected, it's important. When people of color and homeless people of all demographics have been dealing with it. And some people are good enough to pay attention, but like, we live in the stages of genocide against a lot of groups in America. It's just when we can finally do something that brings white people to the forefront, that's when it's important. Not to say there aren't white homeless people, obviously. Homelessness is just one of those things. Well, so is being trans. There are a lot of white trans mascots, not a lot of homeless white mascots. Homelessness doesn't really have a mascot like trans people have mascots. And I'm saying this as a homeless, non-gender conforming, under the trans umbrella person. I definitely see these things from these different sides. Like, black people, we have our mascots. Trans people, we have our mascots. But like homeless people, we don't have a mascot for that. Oh, and I'm almost where I'm going, so I'm going to cut the live. See ya.